Okay, this is how I do it. First off, what I do is I always add the water first. So very first, I have 1 cup of water. Now this isn't the same water that I did the test in because I have to use bottled water, so I got bottled water and threw the other stuff out. So I put 1 cup of water into my mixer. Then 1 teaspoon of salt. I use kosher salt, don't ask me why, I just do. Turn it on, let it go for a minute, you don't get the salt twirling around in there. Then I'm going to add the sourdough. So here we go with the sourdough. 1 cup. I'm gonna pour it back because I did not stir it down. So give me a minute, I'll be back. Back again. I stirred it down and I'm adding a generous cup of sourdough. It helps if you turn it off first. Good thing I had a generous cup, huh? All right, so I added the generous cup, and I will have a dandy mess to clean up. Oh well. Turn it back on, let it spin. I just like to incorporate the water with the sourdough, so it's kind of like it spreads out the little sourdough babies. I don't know what you would call them, but I like to do that. Okay, shut it off. And it's 3 cups of flour, except what I am going to do is add them 1 at a time. I'm going to take my thing that I leave in there. 3 cups, plus or minus. 1, and let it go. 2, let it go. The thing about sourdough is you can start out with it a little dry, and as it gets growing, it makes a wetness. It like sweats or something. So if you think it's a little dry at first, don't worry. I mean, of course you don't want it so dry that it's like, you know, cracked dirt or something, but you know what I mean. So we're gonna add another cup. So this is 3 cups. And I can see, I will tip you over. Can you see? It's quite soupy still. So you have to just use a little judgment. There goes the 3rd cup. Now this is where I have to really pay attention because I have to use my judgment, which isn't always that good. But you know what? Sourdough is very forgiving in a bread, especially this rustic recipe. I'm going to let this go for a little bit. Now, what you'll traditionally read about and see is people calling it stretch and fold, stretch and fold. And they'll do what I call pester it, and they'll stretch and fold. But because I'm Alice, the easy way out lady, I will just cover this and leave it for like a half an hour. And but before I do that, I can actually see that it's still a little bit, it's really moist. So I'm adding about another half a cup. And I'm going to stir this a little longer. I want it sort of a little on the dry side at first. This wouldn't normally slip around except for I have it on a piece of, you can see it here, on a piece of shelf stuff so that I can drag it in and out of the cupboard. Okay, I'm going to now leave this for half an hour. Hello, back again. Now, I waited it. You wait a half an hour. Give this a good la 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 la. Now, if you want, you can do this a couple of times. Wait every half an hour, do it 3 times. Some people, they do it like that. I'm not. I'm sorry. Mine is very rustic, and what I'm doing is I'm going to pull it out. Now, the thing about sourdough is sort of sticky. Sometimes it's easier if you just wet your hands some. Use wet hands. Peel this out of here. I'm shaping it into a ball, and I'm just going to put it into this plastic container and say adios. It's going in the refrigerator overnight, even though it's like noontime today, almost noon. It's going in there until tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning or maybe tomorrow afternoon. It's not going to hurt it any. It's just going to sit in there and grow very slowly. So, say goodbye. Au revoir. Well, hello. We're back again. Taking the sourdough out of the refrigerator this morning. It is 9:15. It's been in the refrigerator since yesterday, about 10 o'clock. So it's almost been 24 hours. That's fine, you know, that's the nice part of sourdough. Pop the top. You can see it's grown a lot. You might not notice it, but I certainly do. I'm gonna wet my hands again. I'm gonna wet the counter, the table, just so that it doesn't get all sticky. It's probably gonna be, it's very cold. I could have and should have, but I mean, you don't have to, obviously, because here I am doing it. I could have pulled this out earlier this morning. If I had thought of it, I probably would have. And just let it warm up. It doesn't matter. Notice the stretch that it has. I mean, that's what you're really looking for. That's why when it's really speedy, it's not so good. I'm going to hold it up to the window. See how you can see through it? That's called the window pane test. And this is like really good because this is really stretchy. If I was a pizza man, I could twirl it, but I'm not a pizza man or a pizza woman or a pizza anything. I like pizza, but I can't twirl it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just folding it in on itself. Now watch how I do this. It's curl it under, pull back. Curl it under, pull back. Curl it under, pull back. Now I'm not going to make this into a circle because I'm not going to do the Dutch oven. This is the Dutch oven method where you heat this up in like a 450 degree oven and put a piece of parchment in there, and after this has rose, you put it in here with the little slices on top, put the lid on, and stick it back in the oven. It's been preheated, so it's going back in the oven. And let me tell you, it's awesome. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing the quick, easy Alice way. I'm going to shape it into a loaf. Push and pull. You can see it really makes a lot of tension. And the tension, I just mean like tightness on top. And I'm shaping it into a loaf and rolling it. And now I'm going to put it into this pan that has a piece of parchment already in it. I'm just going to put it right down in there. And I have things to do and places to go. So when I get done, probably I'll be back about 12:30, and I will turn the oven on to the proper temperature, and I will bake this. And at the end, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, hi, here I am. It is now 12:30, and I'm going to put the bread in, if you can see it, in the oven at 425 degrees. Okay. Hello, it's done. All right, see? And I use parchment paper, as you can see. Tip it out. I cooked it to 190 degrees internal temperature. I use a little pokey thing. And if you tip it up, Hear the hollowness? That means it's done. All right. So now I will just set it there. I will set it crossways on the pan, or if you have cooling racks or the top of your gas range, whatever. And it's good. I will, for your purposes only, I would not normally do this, but I will slice it so that you can see and I can see how the inside turned out. They say it's easier to cut your bread when you flip it upside down. Woo! The steam is coming off it. Here you go, and I'm going to let you get a nice close look. See? It's nice and dense, not a lot of holes, not a lot of big holes, just nice bread. This is just a sandwich bread recipe. Rustic sourdough. Okay, goodbye.